Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Just doing something a little bit different, though, testing out these halftime chats. I'm going to do one with Mo, the guy that came on with me last time. I'm going to go on his channel to just talk after halftime. But I thought, let's talk a little lineups, let's talk a little bit what news, what's going on before the match, just 10-15 minutes. You guys throw your comments and stuff, and we can discuss stuff. Obviously, we got to discuss the main man who's starting today instead of Christian Eriksen, Roberto Gagliardini, the Gallia, Sbagliardini. Some people think he's the white Pogba. Some people hate his guts. I'm probably, leaning more towards hating him, well, not quite hating him, but he's definitely not one of my favorite players in this team. I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, anyway, let me get the lineups on the screen, and then we can just talk through the lineup, talk through what you think, match predictions. As I've said to you guys, I'm predicting more of a 3-1 victory, and yeah, it's pretty much confirming that for me. The what I'm seeing, Torino, they're very COVID injury hit. You can see as we predicted yesterday, no Belotti for them. No Singo, pretty much, their main players. No Thomas Rincon, one of their, leaders. Very, second string makeshift team. So I'm not expecting, great things from this Torino team. But at the end of the day, as you guys know, this is a team that's fighting for their life. This is a team that's 18th at the moment, I believe, right now in Serie A. So they are in the relegation zone. They're fighting for their life. They're fighting to stay in Serie A. So in that case, you never know. Sometimes these kind of teams manage to pull out amazing performances just through sheer grit and determination, and trying to get a result for their fans, for their coach, for themselves. Last week they lost to Crotone. It was pretty bad loss. One of those those teams that are fighting for relegation like they are, lost 4-2 to them. So but still, as I said, I don't see much quality on that Torino team. The standout players for me, Sirigu used to be a really good goalkeeper, probably the second best after Donnarumma, Buffon back in the day. But now he's this season he's had a really bad season, so he's definitely someone that Lukaku and Lautaro can look to exploit. Izzo, we've been linked with this guy for years now, years and years, but he never ends up coming to Inter. Lianco, I don't really know too much about him, but Bremer, he's been probably one of the best performers for Torino this season. He's been linked with Liverpool, so there was a link with Liverpool. Obviously, those guys were looking for any centre back a couple of weeks back because they were desperate. But yeah, he's an interesting player, Bremer. So one to keep an eye on. Very physical. I think he's got the most goals from set pieces for Torino. They're a team that scores from a lot from set pieces. That's one thing we need to watch out for Torino. They I think they've scored 10 goals from set pieces in this area, which is quite a lot. I think they're one of the top teams in terms of that, dead ball situation. They've got quite a big, strong team. The whole back line is pretty good in the air. And then the other guys, obviously Belotti is not there anymore, but in general, there's quite a tall team that's quite good in set pieces. So that's something that we need to make sure the guys stay switched on. Sasa Lukic is also another interesting player. Bazelli, I remember him being, touted as being, next big centre mid talent for Italy, but it's never really quite worked out. Mandragora saying along the same lines, but he's never really worked out. I don't really know too much about Vojvoda. Verdi had a pretty good game against us last time. If you remember, him and Zadza were playing up front. And as I said, in my pre-match, Sanabria is one to watch out for in general. And with us, as we said, same team. Only thing that changes, Gagliardini, strong team. You see a few stats here in terms of Inter compared to Torino. We've almost scored double their goals. They scored 35 goals. We scored 63. So, shows the difference in the teams. But yeah, let me see if you guys have got any comments coming in from everyone. Ethan, Gagliardini starting on my life. Yeah. No one's really happy about it, but we expected it. It's one of those. If you're not going to start Gagliardini, you can't be scared about starting Gagliardini against Torino. If this was like, Napoli, Atalanta, Milan or Juventus, then I would have been panicking. But these are the type of games that made for Gagliardini to come in. It's not such a bad deal. Do you believe it's possible that Inter drop points? George says, yeah, I mean, this Serie A, you never know, especially these kind of games are the banana peels, the potential ones where you lose concentration. The guys might go out there on the pitch and already think they've got 3 points in the bag, but you're never gifted 3 points in this league. It's always difficult. These teams are always very tactically spot on. The coaches are always got them working perfectly, even if it's a makeshift team. But so you always have to watch out for that. But personally, I don't think we're going to drop any points today. I think this should be a pretty solid win. Gagliardini masterclass incoming. Yeah, man. I am expecting a good performance from Gagliardini. I don't want to. Often when he comes in, he just drops in like a 5.5, 6 out of 10 performance that just kind of moves. But I want something more from him. I want him to try to challenge Vidal and Eriksen. Show that I'm here, guys. Conte, look at me. I can do some things. Big Palm, Inter Club India. Check out their Solo Inter podcast. Makes sense to rest Eriksen, not aggravate his knee condition. Yeah, spot on, man. There's no reason to force him to play through pain or aggravate the injury, as we've seen with Vidal. There's no need to try to force these things. Let him rest, and this is the advantage we have right now. Having the time. Even if he doesn't get any minutes out today, he gets full rest for the rest of the week, because the next match will be in 7 days again. So great. I'm happy that Conte didn't try to force the issue. But yeah, I think if his name was Arturo Vidal or something, he probably would have. But yeah, good decision overall. Matteo Pavesi. Do you believe Perisic can keep up with the good performances to the end of the season? Yeah, I can. I know in general, Perisic has always been a streaky player. He's always been very inconsistent throughout his career, especially with Inter. When you watch it for Croatia, he seems to be always balling out for Croatia. But with Inter, he'll go with 3 or 4 matches where he looks world class, scoring, assisting, and then he'll go missing for 3 or 4 matches again, and then maybe turn up in a big match. But the thing with this left wing back situation, when you become a defender, is different. You don't need to be dropping big performances. When you're a winger, you have to be the difference maker. But as a left wing back, we don't need him to be assisting and scoring every week. We just need him to be solid defensively and try to create some chances going forward, not make any mistakes like Ashley Old has been making this season. So as long as he drops a 6 out of 10, I'm happy with Perisic, because this is more than that we can ask for from these guys. Perisic is playing in the position that is not really his. So I'm happy if he continues with 6 out of 10, 6.5s out of 10. I don't need him to drop the performance that he did against AC, that 8, 9 out of 10 performance where he was 2 assists and owning that left wing back position. So yeah, I think he can keep it up to the end of the season, but nothing too special. Bremer is oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, so that shows the threat from set pieces, especially from Bremer. We need to keep an eye out for them for sure. How is Izzo doing? Yeah, he's one that's kind of was touted to be good talent a few years ago, but obviously with this Torino team going downhill, conceding a lot of goals, his stocks are also gone down the drain. Hope to see Vecino get some minutes. Yes, Julian, I agree with you. As I said in my pre-match, hopefully, if the result is, with 2-0 up, 3-0 up, 3-1 up, get some minutes for Vecino, get Barella, because Vecino's ideal position is that right centre mid position, so he would be the Barella position. So get Barella some rest if the scoreline is, comfortable. 10-15 minutes, get some minutes under his legs, because as Conte himself has said, and I agree with him, I always lean towards Vecino more than Gagliardini. I feel like he has unique characteristics in this team. He's really those long legs, he's got that long stride. He's quite a athletic player to have in there. He's got that diesel engine that the longer he plays, he kind of it gets better and better in the match. And we've seen over the years, he's not technically the great player, but he seems to always be involved in big moments for Inter. So yeah, now with Vidal's injury, I hope he does get some minutes, because if Vidal's injury recovery takes longer than we need, it's good to have players like that to be ready to come in and to step in if we need to. Ooh, nice little prediction there. As Lautaro scoring 2 goals. Yeah, I can see that happening. I've predicted a goal each for Lautaro and Lukaku today. They will, provide one for each other. But yeah, these are the type of teams that Lautaro usually balls out against. Yeah, I remember him scoring a goal or a couple of goals last year against Torino in that rainy game, sliding in the rain. So yeah, it's a stadium that he's done well in. So hopefully he continues it. What are the chances this game is stunner like the Sampdoria game? Oof, I don't even want to think about that, because that will put so much pressure back onto Inter. But Sampdoria are a better team than Torino. This Torino team is pretty shambolic. I don't see that happening. I can see, at worst a draw, them kind of, finding a way to kind of eke out a draw at worst. But they just, especially without Zaza and Belotti, I don't really see threat in terms of goal scoring from them. Yeah, Stellini is there on the bench today, not Conte. Stellini has 100% winning record at Inter, 100%. He's the one who teaches Conte how to do these things. Conte is actually he's the false image front man. Stellini is really the guy behind the scenes pulling the strings. And he likes everyone was joking that Stellini on the bench, which means Pinamonti will get some playing time. So let's see if that's true. Vecino 95th minute deciding goal. Imagine that, having Vecino coming in like the first match back and he scores a clutch goal. All the Vecino fanboys will have an interaction. You make a new Pina Mountain video today. Yeah, man. If he comes on, I'm gonna have to make a compilation of his 5 touches, 2 offsides, whatever he manages to do in the 5 minutes he usually he's given. But let's see. I hope Lukaku gets some rest as well if the scoreline deserves, because he's one of those guys that never really gets a rest. So I hope he does get a few minutes if the scoreline is comfortable. American company bought some shares of Inter. Yeah, let's quickly have a look at that. Thank you for mentioning that, Saiwan. I wanted to discuss that quickly. I've got the news on my screen. If you can see it on this is fcinternews.it, Italian, probably the best Italian news website for Inter. So it's an investment fund called Fortress that's looking to provide financing for Suning of worth around 250 million. So that means that Suning won't have to sell, that Steven Zhang and the Zhang family will stay in control. This seems to be the most. So the BC Partners buyout thing, that's dead in the water now. Apparently BC Partners' valuation of Inter was way off the mark. Suning were looking for around 800 900 million, or even close to the 1 billion mark. But BC Partners valued Inter around 700 or 750 or something. So yeah, they never really claimed close to the valuation. Suning ideally have always said that they want to stay in charge or stay in control of Inter and kind of see out this COVID period, see out this period of the bans and the regulation from the Chinese government, who are banning them from investing abroad. Maybe now in a year or two things might change. The Chinese government might lift those bans, the financial situation might improve, and they can start to pump money back in. So probably this might be the best kind of midway situation or midway solution at the moment. The American company coming in, 250 million. So they'll probably be buying out the 31% that Lion Rock currently owns of Inter shares. It's not confirmed, but apparently it could be done by the end of March. So let's keep an eye on that. Steven Zhang has also been confirmed to saying that he wants to keep control of Inter. He doesn't want, especially now that we look like we're challenging strongly to win the Scudetto. You don't want to be sell Inter at this point. The valuation of Inter is only going to go up at these in these situations. So yeah, it's a interesting time. Let's see what happens. What do you guys make of it? I know some people were excited about the Saudis coming in, but again, that was a minority stake. I was making jokes on Twitter as if they were coming in to buy it, but it was always, they were only looking to buy a minority. The BC Partners thing never really materialized, and there wasn't anyone else that was looking to buy out Inter completely. So I don't know. What do you got? I'm pretty happy with this. An investment fund that comes in helps out Inter in terms of liquidity, the money that they need to, keep things ticking, pay the wages, make sure all those things are in check, pay, any outstanding fees that you have. These are kind of things that if you don't do, you end up with, points deductions. And it's not just media speculation, some of these things. It's not just media exaggerating. Yes, they're writing about it every single day, and Inter in the spotlight, but really and truly, this is why Suning are looking at some help, because they actually do need it. The situation was worse than I actually imagined initially, and it's not just Suning's fault. It is the whole situation with the pandemic, the Chinese government banning investment and all these types of things. So it's a difficult situation, but this might be, in my opinion, the best solution. Let's get a few more comments in. Just going to do it for 5-10 more minutes, and you guys can go off and watch the match, and we can enjoy the match. What players would you like to see Inter? This is probably something that we need to have one whole live stream just to talk about potential. Have a few guys on, everyone discuss their views and thoughts on who they would like to see. My guy has always been, I always wanted someone like Rodrigo De Paul at Inter, but Barella has really improved in terms of this year in that ball carrying ability. He's starting to put in more goals and assists as well. Still, we need that, and the Eriksen as well, and the left centre mid position is becoming so good as well. So I'm really not starting to see the need for a Rodrigo De Paul type player, especially when he's going to cost you upwards of 30 million. So the need in this team really still is that Lukaku, vice Lukaku, obviously a Handanovic replacement, long-term replacement, and that left wing back position, because Perisic is improving, but he's not the long-term answer to the cause, for the position. And who could you think can replace Handanovic? This is a question that I struggle to answer, honestly, because it's very difficult to find someone viable, less affordable, that's world class. Someone that comes in to be the goalkeeper for Inter has to be world class, or have the potential to be world class. It's difficult to find someone. Everyone talks about Musso, the Udinese keeper, and I always keep saying I haven't watched enough of him, but he does look pretty good. I know Hristo from the Product of the World podcast always pushing his agenda. He does look the part physically, imposing, tall. He's got good reflexes, has got a good amount of clean sheets the last 2 seasons. I like Cragno from Cagliari, but he's not the long-term answer. He's too short to be, long-term keeper for a big team. So I'm not really sure. It's something that probably I will have to make a video on in the summer to have a deeper look into it. But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to look into. Inter will score 4 goals today. Let's see. I'm leaning towards a 3-1 victory, as I said, but 4 goals would be nice. I want to see a Lukaku getting a hat trick for Inter. He deserves to get a hat trick for Inter. Rumors have Stellini's Gagliardini's father. He does look like Gagliardini, Stellini. They've got like those weird ears that pop out. The physical facial structure is similar. Yeah, could be a conspiracy theory. Alex Jones, Conte should try playing Bastoni. Come on, man. That's like something that should happen. Like if it's an emergency, you're not going to be playing Bastoni as left wing back. His crosses are good, but that doesn't mean you should start playing him left wing back. But he could probably do our job out there if we really needed him. But then then who plays left centre back? Kolarov. Dino Babadinko is here, my guy. He's come out of his basement out in Canada. Yeah, everyone looking forward to watching Gagliardini. A YouTuber is saying that due to Inter not paying Lukaku fee, no. Whoever that YouTuber is, unsub to him, leave a thumbs down on his video, because that is just untrue. He does not have a clue. That's not how things work. That's not how things work in football. Even if let's say Inter couldn't pay that's not how it works. It's not like, oh yeah, okay, you guys can have Martinez. That's not how things work in football. We expecting to see second half. I don't want to see Eriksen if he has got a little knee issue. I hope we don't have to risk him and force him to play. The usual, hoping Sensi has 20 minutes in his legs, maybe he can come on. Sanchez obviously coming on for Lautaro, and yeah, Danilo D'Ambrosio coming in for Skriniar to give him some rest. Those just those little subs that we always make around the 65th, 70th minute just to give a break to our starters. Yeah, this is how it is at the moment. There's no need for any to change things around drastically unless we're losing or drawing, which will be a disaster. What do countries I live in? I live in the UK. I live in Leicester, the great city of Leicester. It's a very cloudy day out there today. It's a win 50-0. Okay. Oh yeah, you're the Juve fan, right? You come here to jinx us. Vice Bastoni, yeah, that's another definite need in this team. Contracts, Kolarov's contracts expires at the end of this season, so definitely need a left-footed ball carrying or ball playing centre back alternative to Bastoni. That's probably something that we'll have to make a video on and have a look who could be the potential options. I haven't really looked into it once again. This year I've been really focused on Inter, especially since I've been making a lot of videos on the channel. In previous years, I watch football kind of generally and have an idea of players all over the place. But this year I've been focusing so much on Inter. I need to start watching, other teams, other players. Angelino, yeah, but they've only recently signed him from Man City, so I really don't see Red Bull selling someone like him. But of course, yeah, the dream is Robin Gosens. Couldn't get on the rumor. Yeah, we on Twitter we joke, Snudgers and a few others. We always been saying, his contract is expiring. Beppe Marotta is the free contract expert. But we don't really have a Mino Raiola clients. I think the only one we have is Pinamonti, and De Vrij recently switched over to Raiola. And yeah, it'll be difficult to pull it off. He's been at Milan since the youth days. If it was, if let's say he went to like PSG or someone else in between, then we could get him. But going straight from Milan to Inter, that will be really hard to pull off. And in terms of wages, I don't think we can afford to give him the 7-8 million net that he's asking for from Milan. I think he's asking for even more than that. So it's not probably the right time at the moment due to our financial circumstances. But it could be possible. Should try to sign Castrovilli. Masil says, yeah, I really used to like Castrovilli, but yeah, this Fiorentina teams really seems to have drained all the talent out of him this season. He's not looked anywhere near as good as he did last season, but it's definitely a profile I like for that left centre mid position. Young Italian, ball carrying, good dribbler, good passing. Could probably improve his final product, but yeah, I think Conte could really do some really good things with him. But yeah, final few good ones, guys, before I leave. I think Haaland we don't need Haaland if we've got Lukaku, but he's a steal for any team that gets him. He's the real deal. He is the real deal. He reminds me of Lukaku actually a lot, as I said in my video with Rabona TV. My captain, as I've always said, Skriniar is my pick to be next captain. I think he's got, he's been here long enough. He's, proven it with his loyalty, firing his agent when he needed to renew the contract. He's leader on the pitch in terms of, he's always the one very vocal, one of the top performers. Yeah, age-wise, but if they give it to Barella, I'm happy with Barella as well. But my personal pick is Skriniar. With Torino player we need to look out for today. As I said, second string team for them, but they use, Sanabria is an interesting talent, and Verdi was pretty good against us last time. But yeah, I'm struggling to really have a standout player for that team. Look out for Bremer, actually. He is the centre-back. Have a look whether you like him. He's playing for left centre-back for them. So he could be a potential option for Inter in the left centre-back position. So keep a lookout for him. Van Huysen, yeah, we discussed him in a couple of videos back. I think he might be coming back. I think we have a gentleman's agreement like the Pinamonti deal to bring him back. But as always, he's had a serious ACL injury. I think he's had 2 serious crucial ligament injuries. So, those players are always risky because they're never the same after they come back, especially 2 is very serious. So let's see. Hope Conte use Pirola. Yeah, let's see. I've heard good things about him. I've never actually watched him play. But I would like to see more youngsters being given a chance rather than, signing players like Kolarov. No, Wu, but I feel like Torino don't really have a chance today, in my personal opinion. Mo bored in Teresa Romagnoli needed for Vice Bastoni. Honestly, if he wasn't the Milan captain, I think he would be a good option. Audi, we spoke about it briefly before. It's something that I probably need to make a video on to really look into it, because it is a difficult position to replace at the moment, because top keepers at the moment are super expensive. So we need to find someone that's kind of in the mid-range, that's affordable, but still has the ability to replace Ananovic on the long term. Singo, he's not playing actually, Freddie Singo today. He's having COVID issues. But yeah, he would have been definitely one to watch out for. Yeah, Mandragora was interesting a few years ago. He's not really developed since then. Yeah, guys, last few comments. Pirola is interesting. We also have Kinkue. Yeah, he is in the Primavera. He's like twice the size of any guy in the Primavera, that centre-back, French centre-back. He's massive. So yeah, he probably needs to be sent out on loan and, give him some playing time somewhere. But he looks like he could be interesting, yeah. Mario El Toro gonna ole El Toro, yeah, El Toro scoring against El Toro. So let's see. But yeah, that's it, guys. Time to watch the match. Make sure to tune in to Tactical Mo. I'll tweet it out before we go live. We'll do a halftime reaction with Mo on his channel. Then I'll do a full-time reaction on my channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys afterwards. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Last question there. Do you think Conte will stay? I think he will stay, to be honest now. Before we were leaning towards not staying, but because of the pandemic situation, his contract is going to increase in wages as well next year. He's going to earn even more, 13.5 million next year. So I don't see him leaving, especially if he wins the Scudetto now. But yeah, guys, as I said, I'm leaving now. Catch you guys at halftime on Mo's channel. Catch you guys here for the full-time reaction. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you. Forza Inter.